Evicted. I'm a celebrity star. James McVey says Harry Redknapp and wife Sandra are the perfect couple. And the footy manager will now help James with his own romance by finding him an engagement ring. James, from pop band The Vamps, left the show on Friday to be reunited with his girlfriend of 4 years, Celeb McVey. And he hopes they will have a love affair as long and loving as his new pal Harry. He said, Harry and Sandra is the example of to be set for people that love is a real thing. He spoke about Sandra every moment of the day in one aspect or another. Even when we were balancing the eggs to win the letters from home, he named the eggs Sandra. His life is Sandra, and for Celeb and I they are the absolute example of what our life is together. I would love to be like them in a couple of years' time. James mentioned the prospect of getting engaged to Celeb next year before going into camp. Asked if being apart have made him even more certain they were meant to be together, he said, the hardest part for me was being away from Celeb, which sounds cliché and soppy, but the reality is people will never understand what it's like until you do that process. I think we will get engaged at some point soon. Celeb is working extremely hard on a master's at the moment, and I wouldn't want to put a spanner in the works with that, but we're very happy and it's been on another level in the jungle. I've been asking Harry about certain jewelers down south and he said he'd hook me up for a juicy little discount somewhere, I hope. I've been plotting, I have been, you can imagine him, can't you? So maybe in the new year. James, 24, and Celeb were inseparable even during our interview, and the pair posed and kissed in photos outside the Versailles Hotel. James, who lost 5 kilograms in camp, admitted the show was tougher than he expected in terms of the physical challenge and lack of food. New pal Rita Simons helped him cope as he struggled in the first week and could not stop crying. He said, it was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life, and I've learned more about myself than I thought was possible. I would never have walked out and quit, but I was very low for a while and I went into this not being too emotional and I was crying every day for weeks. I had a really strong bond with Rita. We went in on the first challenge together on the very first day and she was like my auntie in there. We were both just so in sync and we both spoke about our feelings, and we are complete opposites. I'd never watched her on EastEnders and she'd not really listened to the Vamps, but we just had the chemistry, and that's the special thing about this process. And once we'd merged camps, Nick was there for me as well, and Harry. And having those people to communicate my emotions with and getting it all out was what really helped me get through. He also hit back at people mocking him for asking his girlfriend about Brexit when they were reunited. He said, I'm very much a believer of people our age, and younger people should be in touch with what's going on in the world. I think a lot people, certainly my generation, was brought up heavily not knowing what necessarily is going on, and I would just love everyone to be educated on what's happening in the world around them.